Hi, Stan with 3D PT. So for this, I'm going to explore a website that you could use as a resource for homeschoolers or for uh, educators or just about anyone who does anything in education. And that's actually Teachers Pay Teachers. So my store is 3D PT, and the link's up here, and I'll include that below. But what Teachers Pay Teachers is kind of like the Etsy or eBay of lesson plans for educators. And so Teachers Pay Teachers is nice because it has free and paid resources. There's also a school access where your school could sign up for a site license, and you could you could pull from that to get a school account, and you could buy it with the school budget instead of your own. Now, for teachers, this is great because it's a way to activate a side hustle for yourself and get extra income in. Um, Now, I actually started in 2012. And with Teachers Pay Teachers, there's two accounts. There's a free and a premium account. Premium, I think, is about $50 a year. But what that gives you is extended access. It also frees up. It gives you more visibility. And the main thing is it also pushes your resources to the head of the list whenever there's sales or anything else. So on my account, I've been posting a lot of Tinkercad activities, and some of the videos also I'll include here. So things like a Tinkercad project, money clip. I also have other activities like being a bad guy digital assignment, um, worksheets for the PHET website, as well as walkthrough videos and tools like a standard ruler. Now, my most popular file actually is a worksheet or a Tinkercad cheat sheet. And with this has probably this has probably covered about, say, over the life of my account, um, this probably covered about a couple hundred. This has probably been my most popular, and sold probably maybe about $500 to $600 worth of files. So with this, Tinkercad lets you download files, and you could do it as a PDF. And since I'm in my buyer's account, it'll show me both. But it also has digital activities. So for digital activities, these are real popular right now with Google, because they'll incorporate with Google Classroom. So your students can actually download this, fill it out, and send it back to you without sending in Google Classroom. But you could actually convert this from a PDF to a digital activity. And so now that I have it as a digital activity, I could actually create this from the fruit jar project. So I'm going to select all, give it a minute. And so with this, I could add a answer box, in this case, the student name and your score. I could add a text box so the students can answer. And on these pages where the students do an activity, I could just type in some text, say check box when complete, and play with that. In this way, I could create a checklist. And right now, this only lets me do pretty much as a text box. But this way, I could use it for students could check off when they actually complete that step. And as I do this, I could also add other things like text, highlight. I could also change the text size, highlight, do that, change that. I'll go ahead and just delete that. And I've been doing this with my digital activities and files because you have to have them in PDF first. But once you do that, then you could add other things to this to prepare it. So like here I have my students fill in measurements for parts of a mason jar. And this would all be something that the students could fill out and submit back to me in Google Classroom. So I'm just going to go through and fill out the spaces I want them to type in. In this part of the assignment, they're actually measuring in centimeters and millimeters. So I could have them do the conversion, write the answer here. And again, I could have them check 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 for the rubric. And now that this is done, I've got all the boxes in where I need them for the students to answer. Pin function, if I need to draw something in, I could preview it. I can see here where I click. I need to go back. Looks like I just forgot. That's Yep, I just need to add one more here. So now it's got a checkbox and sections for students to fill in. So when I hit publish, it's going to ask me, do I want to publish? And the render time on this is going to be probably about a half day. But now that it's rendered, you can actually download digital activities for use with Google Classroom. And you could choose which ones you want. So ones like my inch file, inch ruler, and 87 centimeter square doesn't really need to be a digital activity. It's just a printable square. But others like this basic one is a digital activity that's ready to go. And it'll also show me here if it's an unpublished draft. So with teacher pay teachers, the big innovation this year is going to be the digital activities, because those are going to provide forms that you can not only download as a PDF format, but also as a digital activity you can integrate with Google Classroom and really save a lot of time and paper, especially when you're doing distance learning. So on my side, I've got videos, which are like my chess set walkthrough, printable activities, or printables. So these are rulers you can actually print up for using Tinkercad or any other CAD program, cheat sheets, or activities related to 3D printable files. My account is pretty STEM heavy, and you can see all the details here. You get feedback, and you're up to a 5-star score. You could follow your favorite teacher pay teacher accounts, and every account is required to have at least one free download. So I've got one for a money clip assignment, which you could download for free. You can look at each product, see how well it's rated, if it's rated yet. You can see the feedback on the individual account or individual activities. You could ask the seller a question. So if there's any technical questions about what this assignment does, you could do that. You could view their profile, see what areas they specialize in. And on the teacher end, we could see different things. Like here's just the sales for this month. And this is published September 6th. So it's just this month's sales so far. But for teachers, you could make anywhere from a few dollars a month. Most I've ever made is about $200 a month without actively really pushing as much as I probably could. So the nice thing is, when I started doing this, I just started by publishing labs and activities that I liked and that I thought went well, and then I just put those on the site. I didn't really advertise them real well. I didn't push them out on like Facebook or social media or any of those. And you get out of teacher pay teachers what you put into it. So yes, there are teachers that have retired, quit, and are using this as their primary source of income. Those are teachers that are writing new lessons and new activities daily and really focusing on like graphics and meeting all the standards and everything else. Um, so if you are thinking of leaving teaching, or if you need a side business right now, Teachers Pay Teachers is definitely something to look into, because you could take lessons that you've already written and publish them and just use what you've already used already to generate income for yourself. I've never written I've only written a couple of specific files for Teacher Pay Teachers. But you could definitely write activities that are real popular, and you can watch a million videos about what sells, what doesn't. So I won't go into that. Generally, if you want your file to sell well, make it an activity that people will have easy access to, and can easily learn from or easily complete. So don't try and have something like 20 different computer programs and 10 different files in them. Um, you can buy whole packages and whole like semesters worth of lessons from this, which is great for homeschooling, but for a teacher, you've got to kind of cherry pick what you want for day-to-day use. So I actually prefer to focus on like short sales of small, like $2 to $5 lessons. So if I go to my products, um, some things like the squares I sell for 50 cents. Um, Pretty much the more elaborate ones or the videos I sell for a little more, just because videos take more time to produce. I've actually gone through in some files I've cut the price on down on. So just as you grow your account, you could decide what to do with that. Probably the most expensive thing is this whole pack that I have here, but this was a whole year's worth of lessons from when I taught at homeschool or options program. Other ones like this one, this is a whole set. So just watch what you price your pieces for. Remember, you're selling to teachers, so if it's $100 or $75 unit, it needs to be something really worth that. But if it's just a collection of worksheets, remember, teachers know how to use the internet and can get them just about anywhere else. Um, so here's Teachers Pay Teachers in a nutshell. Now, I won't disclose how much I've made over the years because I started in 2010 or 2012 with a free account. And it wasn't until about 2017, I think, that I switched to a premium account. There is a difference in level in terms of how well they advertise and how much they push your product to the front. On the free account, I had months where I didn't sell anything. With a premium account, I've pretty much been selling something about at least every other day. And again, that amount varies. You could have, anywhere from $2 or $3 a day up to anywhere from like $20 or $30 a day. The more you participate, more active selling you get into this, the more you'll attract other people. So this is just an overview of Teachers Pay Teachers. If you like what you see, please let me know if you want to see anything else or if you have other questions. Because I think overall, this is just great passive resource for teachers. Publish your favorite lessons, find the labs or activities that went really well, publish those and share them with the world. And yeah, if you can make a couple bucks off them, even better. Um, and especially in these times, having an extra side hustle with minimal effort, because all I do is I just upload the file with a description. And I could do a future video on how to upload a file. But yeah, pretty much it's write your file, publish it, and sit back and let it do its work. I could go through later and show you how to do other things. So if you have any questions on Teacher Pay Teacher, let me know. I've been doing this since about 2012. And more actively, I've had a premium membership since 2017. And I could say, especially this year because of COVID, people are buying more individual lessons and activities for homeschooling, and using more digital activities and activities that are ready to go or could work with Google Classroom. So thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want me to do anything else on Tinkercad, please leave a comment below.